everyone. For our video today, we're going to present some sample analysis of three paintings. Parisian Life by Juan Luna, a Filipino artist. The Great American Nude by Tom Wesselmann. Of course, it's from the US. And the third is from Spain, May 3, 1808 by Francisco de Goya. Our analysis will be based on what Alice Guillermo stipulated in the essay Reading the Image. So if you haven't checked out that video, please do so and try to see the link that I'm going to share, because in that video, you are taught how to read the image. So just a review of what Guillermo said. Art should be placed in the context of society and history. So when we are going to analyze an artwork, we have to consider its history, or the time it was made by the artist, and the society where it belongs, or the society that it addresses. She also said that before we do our analysis, we have to see the basic documentary information of an artwork. So we look at the title of the work, the name of the artist, the medium and technique. So is it oil on canvas, or is it oil on poplar, or it can just be pencil on cardboard. So that's the medium. And the dimensions or the measurement, the date of the work, because it can influence the time setting and the background of the work. Provenance. So after the artist made the work, to whom did he pass the work? Or where is it exhibited now? In what museum? Or is it owned privately? She adds that for us to understand a work of art, we have to do research. We have to read some works, some articles about the art piece. And the meaning of an important work can grow with time as viewing it becomes a process of continual discovery. So the meaning of an artwork is not absolute. There can be new ideas which can be presented from time to time. And this is very important. She said that where do you have to get the meaning of the artwork? So she said that the meaning of art is a complex of intellectual, emotional, and sensory significations which the work conveys and to which the viewer responds, bringing in the breadth of his cultural background, artistic exposure and training, and human experience in a dialogic relationship with the artwork. So if you have an artwork, you have a dialogue there between the artist and the viewer. The artist wants to convey something to the viewer, and as a viewer, we are responding to it. We are giving our feedback about the work. And as we give our feedback, we are influenced by what we have learned in school, what we have read in the past. That's under intellectual. And what we also feel before an artwork. So feelings here, our emotions play a part. And that's what John Berger even said in the essay The White Bird when he talked about aesthetic emotion. So it's what we feel before an artwork. It's the emotion that we bring when we analyze an artwork. So as a viewer, we are responding to the work, and we bring our cultural background, we bring our artistic exposure, we bring our religion, we bring our history, we bring our training, and most importantly, our experience when we look at the work. So Alice Guillermo said that there are varying interpretations because the viewers will have different background. And she mentions the four planes of analysis, namely basic semiotic, iconic, contextual, and evaluative. So again, please take a look at the previous video that I made on reading the image because I explained each of the four planes. Now, let's begin with one painting. So it's a Filipino painting made by Juan Luna. It is titled Parisian Life. So done in 1892. It's oil on canvas. And it is found at the GSIS Museum. And it was bought by GSIS from Hong Kong in 2001 for 46 million pesos. Actually, I saw this when it was exhibited in SM Mall. I think it was in 2003 or 2004. It was heavily guarded, and you can see the painting behind glass. And there were art curators who gave their analysis of the artwork during its exhibit. So now let me present to you my analysis of Parisian Life. So based on the other video that I made, which is titled Painting Analysis Guidelines, for students, it is better to begin with a topic sentence. You place that topic sentence at the beginning of your paragraph so that you are guided on what to write next. So here, our topic sentence is Parisian Life by Juan Luna presents the condition of the Philippines during the Spanish regime. So do not forget to include the title of the work, followed by the name of the artist, and then your verb. After your verb is your controlling idea, like your opinion about the artwork. So here, I am saying that the painting presents the condition of the Philippines during the Spanish regime. So it's actually a very heavy topic sentence. And in writing, you have to prove your topic sentence. In your second, third, and succeeding sentences, you have to present your proofs. You have to present your argument to support your topic sentence. So my second sentence goes like this. The woman can be a representation of the motherland because she is a mirror image of the Philippine map when one does a horizontal flip of the painting. So the second sentence is already a proof of the first sentence, which is the topic sentence. So I am using here the basic semiotic plane because I'm looking at the image and then the appearance of the image, and I am giving a symbol to it when I said representation. So when you recall basic semiotic plane, you are giving meanings to the images. In addition to this, her awkward sitting position can portray the uncertainty of the Filipinos, whether to submit to Spain or revolt against her. The woman is unsure whether to remain seated or to stand. So look at the image. So that's iconic plane. You look at the image itself. You look at the woman. So try to see. She's not sitting comfortably. She's rather sitting in an awkward manner, unsure whether to stand or to sit. So what does this tell us about Philippine history? So the Filipinos of the time, who were not yet even called Filipinos, they were called Indios, they were uncertain. Should we fight back against the Spaniards or we just submit to their ruling? If we fight against them, what's our edge? We only have the bolo. So that's why the Filipinos were unsure whether to fight against Spain or not. So we see here that history plays a part. So according to Alice Guillermo, you have to put the artwork in the context of society and history. So we have to look at history. Also, the dark line on her neck with the red arrow, it signifies that she seems to be choked. Then the line at her back, which is actually part of the window pane, wherein you have the blue arrow, seems to connect to this dark line, appearing as though she is hanged. This depicts the condition of the Philippines at that time, which experienced injustice and maltreatment. So, number 5 sentence and number 6 are examples of, again, the basic semiotic plane wherein you look at lines, you look at colors in a painting. And number 7, that's contextual plane. You relate it to history. The Philippines in this condition was not left unattended by the revolutionaries led by Dr. Jose Rizal, Juan Luna, and Dr. Ariston Bautista Lin, who also appear in the corner. Although they were abroad in Paris as what the title suggests, they continued to discuss on what to do with our country. So in other words, the three men at the side are talking about the Philippines on what to do because in history we know no as Filipinos that when they were abroad they were planning this revolution, but Jose Rizal said that we will not fight using our guns or weapons, but we will fight using the pen. So the pen is mightier than the sword, according to Jose Rizal. And for Juan Luna, it's fighting through the use of his artworks. Now, we will have another painting as an example. So this is from Spain. The title is A Date, and that actually points to what happened on that day, May 3, 1808. And Goya was commissioned by the Spanish government in 1814 to make a painting of the event to remind the Spaniards, the Spanish people, of the importance of nationalism, patriotism. So as a background information of the paintings, which by the way, you have to read, right? Because that's what Alice Guillermo suggested, that you have to do research about the work. So, as background information of this painting, you have the French troops, the ones holding the rifles, and they were ordered by Napoleon Bonaparte to do that to the Spanish civilians. What could be the message of Goya in this painting, and how is this message conveyed through the use of lines, color, lighting, and images like the extended arms and the mountain at the back? So when we look at the painting, we look at all the elements there. Like what can be the purpose of the mountain? Because when this event actually happened, it took place early in the morning, but Goya used the nighttime here as a form of like an artistic license. If it's poetry, it's like poetic license. So he used the nighttime so that it will add to the melancholy, the sorrow, and the sadness of the theme of the painting. And it did not happen near a mountain or a hill. It was in a city. You can read about that. But why is it that there's a mountain added by the artist? So again, that's artistic license. So now I'm going to present to you my analysis of May 3, 1808. So I will again start with my topic sentence, in wherein I will Write the title of the work and the name of the artist, followed by the verb, and then the controlling idea. So May 3, 1808, by Francisco de Goya, vividly depicts man's inhumanity against man. Through the use of lines, color, and lighting, Goya has presented a horrifying reality that a person is capable to kill his fellow men. The lantern on the ground, which serves as light, illuminates the faces of the Spanish innocent civilians. Thus, the viewer clearly sees how horrified they are. Especially that this painting is very large, very big. So, um, if you look at the topic sentence, so it's presenting to us like the theme of the painting. In spite of the gesture of the man at the center with his arms extended as though signaling surrender, the French troops would not hesitate to kill, as shown in the diagonal line of their bodies, indicating their inevitable attack. So, in elements of art, particularly visual art, if you have diagonal line as shown in their body, that denotes action, movement, tension. It's like they're attacking the Spaniards. So that's the function of of the line. So as as an art critic, take a look at the lines in a painting and take also a look at the color. So it's white. So what does white symbolize? So you wave the white flag for surrender and look at the gesture of the man surrendering, like saying, "Don't kill us, we surrender." One can also see on the ground a sort of demarcation line that separates the Spaniards from the French troops. But the French soldiers extend beyond this line, as shown in their long rifles with bayonets. So again, that's the function of line. That's under basic semiotic plane of Alice Guillermo. You look at lines in the painting. The French troops extend beyond the line as shown in their rifles, and the rifles have bayonets. So what are these bayonets for? It's like a sword or a knife placed at the extension of the rifle so that in case they run out of bullets, they can still stab the enemy. The presence of the mountain at the back also indicates that the Spaniards have no way of escaping. They could run, but they would still be caught eventually. This difficulty of escaping is already shown in the dead bodies lying on the ground. So this is the explanation of the mountain. As what I said earlier, in the real event, there was no mountain, but Goya just added the mountain. And it contributes to the meaning in the painting. With this painting based on a historical event, Goya has shown to us a timeless problem in society on man's barbarity against man, that a person is capable of killing his fellow men. So, my number 8 sentence connects to the topic sentence, which is about the theme on man's inhumanity against man. So, this is how man can be cruel at times. You have senseless killings, and we can then relate this to other social issues. So we are now in the third painting titled Great American Nude by Tom Wesselmann. So as advised in the other video, you have to look at the painting before you analyze. Look at it several times. And you ask questions to yourself, like, why is it that she has no eyes and no nose? And what's the function of the telephone? What's the function of the perfume? What about the picture frame wherein we don't see the total image? Or what about the flower? So these questions are very important. According to Martin and Jacobus in 2004 from their book, The Humanities Through the Arts, they said, with the arts, unlike many other areas of human concern, the questions are often more important than the answers. The real lover of the arts will often be not the person with all the answers, but rather the one who has the best questions. And the reason for this is not that the answers are worthless, but the questions, when properly applied, lead us to a new awareness, a more exalted consciousness of what works of art have to offer. So when we question the artwork, that leads us to understanding of humanity. The Great American Nude by Tom Wesselmann presents the woman in society as having no identity. She may only be a body. Remember that when you write your topic sentence, it's your opinion about the subject matter. As what Alice Guillermo said, there are varying interpretations. So you are entitled to your interpretation. And your interpretation is valid if you prove it. So my second sentence, this is proven in the woman's face, which doesn't have eyes. Leonardo da Vinci once said that the eyes are the windows to one's soul. And since Wesselmann doesn't put the eyes on the woman, the painting might imply that she's not that important. So you see, my number three sentence is an example of contextual plane where I relate the artwork to a statement coming from a renowned artist. Her value is only her body, as shown in her big breast, which is in fact much bigger than her head. So, number four sentence is an example of basic semiotic plane, wherein you look at the images. At the same time, it's an interplay of iconic plane. So, you look at the icon, look at the image, and the size, right? So, the head is smaller than the breast. So, what can be the message of the artist here? So her value is only her body. And what's in our head? Our knowledge, our wisdom, our intelligence. So what is it telling us? She's only a body. So number five, her breast is further emphasized through the use of chiaroscuro. It has the lightest color in the painting. So because of that, our attention as a viewer is drawn towards the breast. So chiaroscuro is one of the elements in painting. In addition, the material things that surround her can symbolize that she's just similar to a commodity, like the telephone, perfume, picture frame, and flower. Also, by giving the painting such title, the artist wants to describe the American culture, which puts importance to having a beautiful, sexy body. For where did the magic bra, silicone breast, and bust enhancement proliferate but from the land of milk and honey? So these are some images of the push-up bra, the the breast with silicone, and that controversial ad from Sarah Lee, the Wonder Bra, and you have Hello Boys. Finally, so this is now the conclusion. The time the painting was made, which is in 1977, presents a liberated view on sex, where the hippies believed in the saying, make love, not war. And truly, This painting shows the phenomenon of the sexual revolution, which put emphasis on the body. So according to Alice Guillermo, we look at the date that the work was made. So 1977, what happened during that time? So prior to it, you have Woodstock. So that's one thing I can relate to this painting. So what happened in Woodstock? So it started in 1969. So it's a musical concert, and this event influenced the views of people in terms of sex. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that you are guided on how to analyze paintings and you make your own analysis of artwork. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe my channel.